Hi, I'm Mark Taylor, and it's time for the Mark Taylor Show. This week's guest is Sara Ross. Pleased to meet you, Sara, and I'm glad to have you on here.
Thank you for having me.
You've done many things in athletics over the years, and I thought it was time to get you in here and talk about it. I want to thank you for bringing on your medals and some of your achievements you have there. I mean, you got quite a host of things. Mostly it's geared to hockey, right? I mean, you don't have anything that's not geared to hockey. You've got medals for ball hockey and ice hockey.
Yes.
Very impressive, very impressive. So, as I was saying, you played hockey at many levels. When did you start?
I started in grade 5, and I would have been 10 years old.
Okay.
In minor hockey in Blacks Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you have any figure skating or anything before that, or did you just go right to hockey?
Right to hockey, but I grew up with a pond in my backyard, so
okay.
I played with like my older brother.
I was going to say your brother played as well.
Yeah.
Did you ever play against him? I know you played with them. Did you ever?
I would have played against him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't enjoy playing against him.
No, I bet
I like being on his line.
But when you're a girl, I mean, going back to the time when you played, when you started to play, pretty well at that time there was just boys to play with, right? Was there any other girls that were?
It would have been every second year I would have played with Holly Parks and Lindsay Thompson.
Okay.
So there would have been 3 of us on the team at once. But yeah, for the most part, like
if you wanted to play, you're going to play with boys, right? Because there's
right.
at that time I don't think there was any girls leagues around, was there?
There wasn't any girls leagues. No.
But when you got through and you played in high school, that's when it started. They actually had a high school team, right?
Yeah, we started that. Holly, Lindsay, and I decided let's have a women's team. So we went through all the process, and our parents helped us, and we got the Fun Day Lady Mariners.
You guys did quite well as well, if I can remember. Did you ever win the provincial championship?
No, we were in the finals twice when I played. So.
Wow. So you went through all the way up through, did you start Adam? Is that what you said you played?
Adam, yeah.
And you go right up straight through to midget?
I went to midget and
then you played high school.
Well, no, I played all the way up through, and then in midget, like I played high school and midget.
You can play a little. You can only play a few games. Is that how it works? Or
at that time, I was able to play both.
Okay.
Like fully. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So and then I believe. When did you get into you went to the Winter Games. You represented Brunswick one year, did you not?
When I was in grade 11.
Okay.
Yeah, and Holly Parks, she's Holly Hannon now, and Lindsay Thompson both played
all you guys
well.
made the team?
Yeah.
Wow.
So all from
Where was it held?
Grand Prairie, Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you do out there?
I think we came 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of was there 10 provinces at the time? Because I think you had the territories as well, so it would have been so you're pretty well middle of the pack, right?
Middle of the pack. Yeah.
Okay.
It's at that time it's hard to compete against like Ontario and
Quebec. Yeah.
But we held our own.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Yeah.
So when you go back to through the years, you played. I say you played with boys and stuff like that. Is there ever any fights or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, another thing I was going to ask you, is there fights in women's hockey? Like when you were playing in like high school and everything, was there the odd fight or anything like that, or is it just kind of...
Not really.
Roughing, I guess, is more of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no contact in women's hockey.
No,
at all. Even in the Olympics, there's no contact.
No, but it does get a little chippy.
Oh, it does, yes.
When
there's tempers fly.
Well, yeah, there's people that argue... The people that are kind of pro-fighting will tell you that if there's no fighting, there's more stick work and stuff like that goes on, because you can't basically tune somebody in if they give you a little bit of a jab. You can't get them because there's no fighting and you're going to be thrown out of the game. Is that?
Yeah.
So and that's kind of that's one of the guys that are obviously pro-fighting. But so when you got out of high school, you went to Concordia, right?
Yes. Yep.
And they had a women's program started already, or did you?
It was started. It was the best team in Canada at that time.
Okay, so you kind of lucked into a good team.
Yeah, that's the one I chose. I was like, I want to go to Concordia.
Yeah.
So, but my first year there was no national championship for
that's
university.
what I meant. Yeah, if they just they played, but they never actually went.
Well, we had a league and everything, and we could win our league.
Right.
But as far as nationally, there was no.
Were the teams in the league just in the Montreal area or all over the province? Or?
We played in Quebec, like a few teams there, like a few universities, but we went to the States a lot.
Okay.
Like we played in Princeton and Boston University.
Was it invitational or was that interleague play? Like
that was in like tournaments.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm lazier than a rug on Valium, but I did do some research here. You actually played with some people that played on the national team, right?
Yes.
Therese Brazil.
Yep.
Karen Bai, and then she didn't play in Canada, but Cameron Granado played.
Yes.
Who's in the Hall of Fame, which is really something. You know, I think she was the first lady that got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And you played on a line with her?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like, I was starstruck.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you ever meet her brother?
No, but I talked to him on the phone.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's, in case anybody doesn't know, that's Tony Granado, who played in the NHL for years. I think he's coaching for the Kings now or something. I'm not really sure, but I think he's coaching or somewhere. But so what position did you play?
Center.
Center?
Yeah.
Did you do like power play, penalty kill?
I guess depending on the team. Like university, I was on the penalty kill a lot.
Okay.
And then the odd power play, but on other teams, I would be on the power play and.
Okay.
Yeah. It just depends. But I enjoy penalty killing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're not in the one in the penalty box.
Right.
It's not so that they call it the skate of shame or something after you've been in the penalty box and you're skating across and the other team scores.
Yes.
It's not all that good a feeling, especially if it's and you know it's a dumb penalty when you do it. I mean, now you go, oh man, you know, and you know, that's just the way it goes. But so they actually, when they got the Canadian Championships going, the CIS Championships, Concordia won it, right?
Yep, we won it in 98 and 99.
Okay, and you were on both those teams?
Yep.
Wow, that must have been really something, right?
That was a pretty amazing experience.
I would dare say.
Yeah.
Because they never had the championships like that before, and you know, you had, obviously you had kind of like a perfect storm. Because Cameron Granado came and played. Did she play both years? Or?
My first year was her last year.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you play ball hockey all the time, right? I mean, did you do that in the summer?
I just started that, I think, in maybe 06.
Okay, you never did it when you were a kid, like you never.
Well, I had to play with the boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say you must have played some ball hockey before, but
yeah,
that's a different deal altogether, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of running.
I was gonna say you play on a regulation hockey rink.
Yes, the LBR in St. John.
Okay, so you play on that.
Yep.
And you run up and down, and it's still five skaters and a goalie. There's no.
Yep. Yep.
And there's no gliding or no coasting.
No, you're running back and forth, so you have to be in good shape for that.
So what do you wear for padding? In that, I mean, I know what you wear in regular hockey, but what would you wear for padding in that?
Soccer shin pads. I wear elbow pads because
you fall down. Yeah.
And then just helmet and gloves.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
So I when I heard about it, I think, wow. So, and then one of the trophies you have here is from last September, right?
Yeah, September.
Yeah, September 2014.
Yeah.
You went down. How did you find out about you? I guess we'll tell you what happened. You were on the World Championship team, right?
Yep.
Wow. And that's Masters, which is what, over 35? Is
over
that
35.
Okay.
So.
How did you find out about that?
They sent an email out to like all the teams, I guess, and if anyone was interested, you do up your resume and then send it into like the GM, I guess.
Yep.
And then
this was all across Canada. Did you?
Yeah, all across Canada. So I sent mine in, and I got chosen. I was pretty excited.
Wow. So they didn't necessarily. It wasn't your team that went. You got picked to go on a Canadian team, right across Canada.
Yeah, it was Team Canada.
Okay, and there was Clarissa Arsenault from St. Stephen was involved in this as well, right?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So the two girls from basically Charlotte County girls got picked to go. Was there anybody else from New Brunswick on the team? Yeah,
there's actually a few of us. 4 others from St. John.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Jeez. So how many would you have on a team? 15, 20?
Yeah.
And a goal, and the goalies and stuff like that?
Yeah, we had 2 goalies. So.
Wow. Yeah, I of course, I was telling you, I did do some research. you kind of, it was a bit of a cakewalk get there, wasn't it? I mean, you didn't really have much competition. I mean, I think if what I saw was correct, 17-0 in 4 games. Like you outscored the opponents 17-0.
That would probably be correct.
Yeah. So then when you get, I think you played Slovakia in the semis.
Yeah.
And the Americans in the final, right?
Yes.
Of course, if my research is right, you won the final 2-0.
Yeah.
And you got a goal and an assist. What was that? What was that like? That was pretty cool. Did you score the first goal or second goal? Did you score the winning goal, I guess is what I'm coming at.
Yeah, it would have been the first goal, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. You assisted on it, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That was in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yep. And how many countries were in it?
In the women's division, it was the first year for the women's division. So there was 2 American teams, Canada. I guess there was another Canadian team, but they were from Ontario. It was a club team.
Okay.
And then Slovakia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you run into anybody down there that you knew? Like obviously you went with girls from New Brunswick, but did you run into people that you had played against or seen around or anything like that?
No. Yeah. No.
No, it's ball hockey, I guess. So it does. You played most of the time was ice hockey, but.
Yeah, there was actually a girl that I played ice hockey with from Ontario. Like she's a New Brunswicker, but now she lives in Ontario.
Okay.
So I reunited with her, which was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it's amazing that you actually found out about it, and obviously you send your resume in. And did they not have like an actual tryout where you could go and show your skills, or they just kind of went on your record?
Yeah, and you had to have like 2 references, and then they actually one of the coaches was from St. John.
Oh, so she knew everybody. And,
she knew us.
Yeah, and she could vouch for you and say, yeah, this one's all right, this one's okay. And
yeah.
Because when you're going to something like that, you know as well as I do, chemistry is a thing as well.
Exactly.
Because if you go there and it's just a bunch of people, you get 15, 20 people that all just want to go end to end and score themselves.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to work.
Yeah.
And you got to gel fast because you only got. Well, your practice is on the first game.
First game, we walked out and we have never played with each other, and it just gelled.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and another thing is that it was an over 35 team. So there was a lady there that was 51 years old.
Okay.
And still playing, still competitive, in great shape. And I was just like, wow, because I thought, I'm 36 and I might have like another year or 2. I'm not sure, but. Oh, it was inspirational.
Well, the way I look at that is you got 15 years to go.
Exactly.
You thought you had 2, you have 15. And every year she plays, it moves up a year.
Yep.
So if she plays till she's 60, you're all set. You know, you can go until whenever. So when you go and to these things like that, you got to pay your own way, right? Was there funding available for anything like that?
No, I did a couple fundraisers. Okay. And then raised money, and people were just donating money.
Okay.
Yeah, we live in a great place.
Yeah, I found that out. I was talking to a guy the other day. His truck broke down, and he told me that if this place was phenomenal as far as people helping each other out. It's really something.
Yeah.
So when you go back and you played ice hockey, that's a little bit different game. Are you still playing hockey?
I am. Yeah.
Where are you playing?
In the St. John League. There's a women's league up there.
Okay.
So I travel up there.
So how many teams are in that?
7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's competitive. It's a good little league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no squabbles or anything in that?
Oh, there is.
I was going to say probably. Do you have to wear a cage?
Yes.
Okay, you got to at least wear a cage, and that kind of keeps the sticks from flying, which they still do, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no fighting, but people do bicker, I guess, and
slap shots.
Yep.
You guys, it's everything but checking, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So obviously, if there's somebody that takes a run at somebody, cross-checks them or something like that, they'll throw you out of the game, right? So that stuff goes on. I mean, you can't have people getting hurt.
Right.
Because everybody's got to get up and go to work the next day.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got to say that I really look forward to watching women's hockey in the Olympics and stuff. It's where it's really the Canadian teams. I mean, it kind of sucks basically that there's only 2 teams in it.
Yeah.
And until they get that straightened away, women's hockey today is is Canada and the United States, and I don't know, why do you think it's the other teams don't seem to?
I don't know. Like, I think the other teams are growing.
Yeah.
Like Finland and Sweden are coming. Like, they're getting better. A lot of their players now are coming over to Canada or U.S.
Play university.
To play university.
Yeah.
So I think the level is going to increase. Way back when the men's hockey was like that too.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Yeah, and well, I guess we found out probably in 1972, which is obviously before your time, but we found out the Russians could play hockey.
Yeah.
And that was a real eye opener, because I think everybody kind of thought, oh, we're going to kick their butt. This is going to be, they're playing 8 games, they'll win all 8, and they just won it by the skin of their teeth. So, I wondered sometimes if it's a social thing with their society, that women maybe stay at home more or something in those other countries. I don't know. I'm just throwing out.
I lived in Denmark for 2 years, playing hockey over there, because what some of the countries are trying to do is bring Canadians or Americans over to increase the level. So kind of go over to coach, to play, but to help increase the level. So,
well, you know as well as I do, no matter what sport you're playing, whether it be softball, it could be hockey or anything, if you're playing against people that are better than you, it brings you up. It makes you better. I mean, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
You get those competitive juices going, and you want to excel, and you got somebody that's better than you, and you're thinking, I'm going to get you sooner or later, and you do, right?
And I think that's one thing about playing like minor hockey with the boys. I loved it because if a boy knocked me over, I was going to get up and,
take his number.
Well, either try to get the puck and score, or knock him over.
So when you played hockey, obviously, as you played in, the checking started, right? You had to play checking hockey.
Yeah, I played 1 year in checking hockey. Yeah.
What was that like?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get smoked?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I could give it back.
I was going to say, you give it as well as you can take it.
Yeah.
So I played against you. I mean, I know that you don't give an inch, and that's definitely a trademark that you have. So it's good that you do that. I was wondering because it must have been a bit of an eye-opener, because then you got to have your head on a swivel, right? It's a little bit different.
You play a bit of different, like a little different game, because you're like, I did love it for that year, but I do enjoy now, like, not.
Well, I mean, you've got responsibilities and stuff. You can't go home with your eyes all blacked, and obviously you're not going to get them blacked, but you could if your mask come off or your cage. Over the years, you had some coaches, obviously, that coached you along the way. Is there anybody that really that you can think of that maybe helped you develop your game that sticks out for you?
I could. Well, 4 coaches, I think.
I don't want to put you on the spot. This is one of the questions I don't think I told you I was going to ask you. So I told you I wasn't going to blindside you, but I will.
Well, Stacy Wilson, who also...
I was going to mention her. I saw her on Hometown Hockey a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yep, when they had Hometown Hockey visited Moncton.
Okay.
It's on Sunday night. Ron McLean and all of them were there, and they interviewed her.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool seeing her on there.
Yeah, she coached my Canada Games team.
Oh,
she was the assistant coach. So she was amazing to have her and that leadership.
She's one of the very first Olympians. I mean.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
When they had women's hockey.
So she was an amazing coach.
She's from Salisbury.
Yep. But then in minor hockey, like I think of Peter Spear and Dougie Gaudette. I had them, and they were phenomenal. Okay. And I enjoyed Greg Hooper too. He was a good coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course, you had your coach, the same coach at Concordia, right?
Les Lawton. Yeah. He was a good coach too.
Yeah, obviously he had to do something right. I don't know how. It must have been a little bit, because most of those teams have women coaches, right? And it must be a little bit. Because you're dealing with personalities, and women, you know what it's like to be around women, and they can be a little, things may not go as well as you would like. And if you're a man involved with that, it's, obviously you can't go in the dressing room and stuff like that, but he probably goes in after and talks to you beforehand as well. But it's different for a guy to be coaching those teams, I would think.
Yeah, usually there's always a woman assistant coach.
Okay.
So she would come in and be like, okay, guys, hurry up, you be ready, because he's coming in, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think if I researched it correctly, I think he's won over 500 games. or something?
Oh, for sure.
Because I don't know if he's still at it or not. I don't.
Well, I was going to look that up because I wanted to know if he was still doing it.
So do you watch? Do you ever get a chance to watch any of the? Because I don't see women's college hockey on TV that much.
Yeah, only the championship.
Oh, they have the championship on there.
Yeah, but Kelsey McDougall.
Yep.
She plays for Mount A.
Oh, okay.
And she is now, like, I don't know if she went to Concordia already, but she was going up there for a tournament.
Okay.
So I was like, wow. That's my old stomping ground.
Yeah. and Kelsey's from Blacks Harbor.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really something. So I guess the state of women's hockey today, what do you? It's definitely on the upswing, isn't it?
Is it ever? Yeah. Like I have a niece, Sara Ross, and she plays for RNS, and that team is solid. Like, yeah, and just all the teams, like they have a bunch of different women's teams.
So that's the high school hockey, right?
High school hockey.
New Brunswick high school hockey.
Yeah. And so she's doing quite well there, and it's really good hockey. Do you get out? Do you coach or anything like that, or have you ever tried anything like that? Yeah, I coached the high school team. I guess way back in like 04 maybe. Okay. And 05. And then my daughter played a couple years ago, so I coached her. Okay. But she doesn't play at the moment. Okay. She's taking a break from it. She is. Yeah. Okay. So I took a break from it. Yeah. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and we get back to the ball hockey, you got, I think, 5 goals and 7 assists. You're the highest scorer in the tournament. And Clarissa was 5 and 5, 5 goals, 5 assists. She finished second. It must have been amazing for you guys. What did that feel like to? Because that's world championship, right? I mean, I know you understand. I understand the Canadian one. That's women's ice hockey, which is really, really cool in itself. Yeah. And then you got a world championship under your belt too. Well, that's the thing. Like, I've won 3 national championships with ice hockey. Yep. And they're all with Concordia, right? 2 with Concordia and 1 with Denmark team. I played over there and won. Oh, over there. Okay, I got you. Yep. So, yeah, like that's a highlight. Those, but winning a national or a international event, like. That's really something. Yeah, that's the highlight of my career. Yeah. So. So I've got every year, I was telling you, every week I try to bring something in here from Charlotte County. So I got something I want to lay on you, and see if you can use this in a sentence. This is a saying or a term from Charlotte County, and it's down home. Can you use that in a sentence? It's funny how I use that today. Well, I was looking for something, and I was telling my husband it was down home. Exactly. And you told me that. Yeah. You said down home. And there's also, if you're from Deer Island, there's over home. Mm-hmm. And if you're in Bonnie River and we happen to be in St. George, we got to go up home. Up home. Up home, over home, down home. Mm-hmm. And it's, and of course, the other one, if you live in St. Stephen, we're going across the river. Yep. Because the customs officers say, where are you going? I'm just going over the river and going across the river or whatever. So I want to get back to, I guess, what are you doing right now? You obviously, you went to university and took this, what did you take in university, and what are you doing now? Well, I am a massage therapist now. And I am actually a personal trainer and a fitness instructor now as well. So I'm doing fitness classes and personal training out of my house. You're doing fitness classes in your house? Yes. Right in St. George? Right in St. George. Wow. So what kind of training are you doing in there? What exercises are you doing? Is it it's a circuit, cardio circuit training, like cardio strength. So yeah, it's basically you're doing strength exercises and with a mixture of cardio as well. Okay. There's music and all that stuff. So yeah. How long is the session? Like is it half hour? An hour. An hour. Yeah. Wow. So knock the sweat out of you. Yes. Yeah. Some of the girls curse me, but yeah, hey, well, that means you're doing something right. Yeah. Well, I wondered. I thought, well, if you went to university, you must have did something while you were there. So you actually got, you got all those accolades and everything while you were there, and you got a education, and got a job out of it. Mm-hmm. So that's really good. I'm really glad you came on, Sarah. Well, thank you. And I'm, I hope that you'll watch the show. It's as I'm telling you, it's on. You told me you were going to start being a fan, so I'm glad that you could come on tonight. Well, thank you very much for having me. Okay.
Well, that's it for the Mark Taylor Show for this week. And join me next week when we'll have another guest that will come on. And my guest tonight's been Sara Ross. Thank you. Good night.